Alright, so what we're going to do here today is we are going to change the hub on the boat trailer. Last week when I put the boat away, I noticed actually on the other side that there was like a grease splatter around the rim, and then kind of indicates that you have bad wheel bearings, so not a good thing when you're trying to go 70 mile an hour down the highway. So anyway, we're changing them both, new tires and everything, because the old tires actually got worn to the worn bearings. So I don't want to put the old tires back on and, you know, cause an issue with new bearings. So I'm going all new. I like to move down the highway when we go to the whatever fishing spot we're going to, so we're going to be safe about it. So anyway, first thing is to take off this little dust cap or whatnot, and I have like a little hook tool, so we're going to pull that out. And I can just tell even by this side that there must be some wear or whatnot, because the grease is a different color. I don't know, it could be some water in there as well. So we're going to take that off. And then, of course, you're going to need some shop towels or paper towels or whatever. I'll kind of clean that grease out a little bit. All right, now we got to get this hub cover off here. Whoa! Should have had a hold of it. Can get messy. Good idea to put down some cardboard first. So I'll set that aside. There again, more paper towels or shop towels, whatever, because this, I believe, is going to get pretty messy. So I clean this off here so I can expose the castle nut and this little tang lock. Gotta find out where that is. So you got to pull down this retainer. This has like a retainer type washer thing. Bend that tab back down. Then you can take the castle nut off. This was, I guess, kind of loose because didn't even need like a wrench.
How often do you have to do that?
Well, I guess it's recommended to check your bearing grease almost every time you go to use the trailer, but you know, who's going to do that realistically? So, I don't know, every couple outings or whatnot, I would actually put the grease gun on it, take the cap off, and put some grease in it. That's another issue. You can actually pump too much grease in it and blow out the rear seal. So that's not a good thing either. You just want to put enough grease in it that you can see the old stuff getting pushed out. And as long as it's flowing, I guess, as you're squeezing it in, you can keep doing it until you get all new grease coming back out to the front that pushed all the old stuff out. But you got to be careful that you don't blow your seal out, because you know, once that's tore out of there, grease is just going to go everywhere and not stay inside your hub where it's needed, and then you're going to have catastrophic failure eventually. So you clean off your castle nut and set that aside. Then there should be a little washer on here that kind of holds the bearing in. Yeah, that's there, but I think I can, I'm changing the whole hub assembly, so I'm just going to grab it here and pull the whole thing off. I'm going to pull this retainer clip and that washer off and set it aside because I need that retainer clip to put the new hub on. So these I'm probably going to rebuild and put some new bearings in them and just keep it. So it's probably good to keep one in the truck with you. If you're on a long haul, you get a bad wheel bearing, you'll be able to just, I don't know, well, I guess it's going to take me more than a couple of minutes, but still, it's not going to leave you stranded. So, anyway, so then clean off your spindle. Get all that old grease off of there. And you want to check it, see if there's any wear marks or nicks in it. This actually looks pretty good. It didn't get bad enough to where it damaged the spindle at all. Another thing is, before you're going to order bearings, of course there's 652 different types of hubs and bearings and all that, so I had to actually watch some YouTube videos to kind of figure stuff out, but I just like simple things, so I'm going to try to tell you in a simple way here. There's like two different types of spindles. One is a straight shaft, and then this is a tapered shaft on my application. And then of course you should have like a caliper, to measure, but you can actually use, something easy, poor man's caliper, and get that down on there, and then actually, take a tape measure and figure out what size it is. So, anyway, I know what size my hub is, or spindle. So, and then after doing some research, I figured this is a really good hub system here by Vortex. I guess Tie Down Engineering puts this product out, and it's like an all-in-one deal. So here it is. When you pull it out of the package, you want to make sure that this bearing doesn't fall out of the front, because it's just kind of in there for now. Just going to set that aside a second because I actually want to take the same grease that is in this pre-greased hub. This is a Lucas product, and I want to get all the old grease out of the spindle. It should come out right here. Until it turns the color of this new Lucas grease. So that's good right there. I'm going to take that. I'm going to throw a little grease on the spindle here first. And you should probably use gloves, but I'm not into gloves so much. Alright, so I got that pretty well greased up, just a thin coating. We're going to take this new hub assembly and, I don't know, kind of poke your thumbs in there, I guess, to hold the bearings in so they don't come out. And you just slide it on. Kind of push it on there real good. I'm going to clean off this washer and retainer, nut lock or whatever it is. Well, all the old grease is off of there. So you're gonna put this washer back on first. It's a D style washer, so it only goes on one way. Kind of seat that back into the bearing, and we're gonna put this retainer on, and those two little tabs go right on the flat side of the spindle there. We'll put that on like that. Take our castle nut, put it back on. Just give it a little push, then go hand tight on that. And you can pretty much use any wrench. I don't know, I would kind of avoid things like this so you're not like scratching your hub all up. But I got this like nut wrench here. And I'm just going to give it a little, tighten it down pretty good. And then this is pretty snug, that's not turning very well, but you want to tighten it good so that your bearings will seat properly. And then you can, after you tighten that down like that, you can back it off a little bit. A little bit more. That feels pretty good right there. There's no wobble in it. And I already pretty much have my retainer in the proper location, so I'm just gonna put it right up in that castle nut, and that locks that nut in place. Oh yeah, that feels pretty good. No wobble. And then of course, when you put the tire rim back on, you know, you're gonna be able to spin it easier that way, and you're gonna get a better feel for it. You can always adjust it even when your tire's on. So that's what I'm gonna do next, is put the tire on and put this on here. So here's the new tire and rim setup here. Jack it up just a little bit. Go ahead, you want to jack that up for me, buddy?
Sure.
Thank you. A little bit. A little bit. That's good. So we'll put that on there.
Clean nuts.
And then what I'm going to do here, just to prevent your nuts from seizing, I'll put a little.
We don't want that.
Put a little bit of this grease here on the. No,
we don't want to do that, yeah.
no, you want to properly lube your nuts. Okay, put a little
Nut lube?
nut lube on there. you're just going to go ahead and screw your nuts down. So before you snug your nuts,
you have to wiggle.
yeah, you kind of want to wiggle it and then find that you know, happy spot where they want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Wiggle and find the happy spot. Yes. Actually, lower.
You want to tighten your nuts in a like every other pattern, like the same amount until they're all the same basically.
Lower it.
Yep. So slowly let it down. Watch, she's gonna.
No. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Okay. I'm just going to tighten the wheels a little bit here with this breaker. Yeah, it's probably recommended that you put a torque wrench on it and, you know, get whatever foot-pound of torque on, but most people kind of just know what it feels like. Alright, that's it. The tire's on. Jack me back up there, bro. Now I'm going to see what the hub feels like. See how tight the bearings are.
You're just going to show it's underneath.
It was underneath.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind that, you know, my life's at stake. A little bit more. That's good. Alright. Feels good.
I think you can go forward now.
So yeah, these were pre-greased hubs. I'm just gonna add a little bit extra. And you'll see it starting to push out. See how it's starting to push out the front here? So that's full. Alright, and then all that's left to do at this point is put this cap on. And these are, the reason why I went with this Vortec is because these caps, they screw on and they have a rubber O-ring, and they also have an extra I don't know, O-ring system or something on the back side of the hub, so you know it doesn't allow water to. They're more water resistant, is what they claim. So make sure you line your threads up. My hands are a little greasy. and just till it's snug, and then maybe just a touch more. That's it. Done.
Beautiful.
Ready for the highway, buddy. What do you think?
Going to Florida.
Nice. I kind of thought you were going to say like good job or something like
Good
that.
job.
Well, that's too late now. It's too late,
Well, better late than never.
I guess. Well, I hope it helped you somewhat. I don't know. There's other videos on YouTube, so do your research. Make sure you get the right set of bearings and hub for your application, and I'll let you know in a further video what I think of these new bearings and whatnot. They do recommend that now it's all put together, both sides are done. Take a little road trip, like 25 miles, and then, you know, check to make sure your nuts are properly snugged down, and you know, see if there's any slop in the wheel bearing. So I guess that's about it, and now gotta clean up.